Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bear Studio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Guys, this might be our biggest kid haul ever. December was huge. We had a lot of kids come in left and right. But January said, hold my beer. And at the end of that month, we had a kid for every single day and more. Plus, the most anticipated kid barely made it in. And for sure, we're going to get to that. So, let's dive on in. As usual, we're going to get this video started with the smallest kids. And here we have an SD. However, this is not your typical SD. This is the SDW Heroes line. The SDW series really had never been appealing to me. But lately, I've been noticing it a little bit more. And I have realized that a lot of these kids are actually pretty good. Especially if you do enhance them by painting them, customizing them, giving them panel lining and all that cool stuff, then they can actually look really, really cool. Now, what makes these SDW heroes different from your regular Gundam SDs? The major difference is that the SDW lineup is actually based on historical figures. If you know a little bit of Japanese history, then you know who Nobunaga is. He's really important here in Japan, and one that's usually portrayed as the bad guy. Here are the side images. It even comes with a sword. This artwork really reminds me of Nobunaga from the Onimusha games, where in there he turns into a demon. Next up, our second SDW Heroes kid, and this one here is the Wukong Impulse Gundam. Another really beautiful artwork. Now this one is actually based on Wukong, the Monkey King, which is the Chinese myth where Dragon Ball got its inspiration from. Now, something that I really like about the SDW Heroes line is the level of detail for an SD kid. It's actually very impressive. You really don't see this much detail in your regular Gundam SDs. I would say not even close compared to this. Of course, let's not be fooled. You're not going to get this much level of detail right out of the box. The images here are already customized and painted. However, it tells you that you could get to this level of detail, which is what we're going to be aiming for. Also, fun enough, the only reason we even have this kid is because of this. This is the SDW Heroes weapon set B. This caught my attention at one of the shops that I go to. It wasn't one of those miscellaneous bins. So what actually happened is I actually ended up buying the effect parts, and then I started searching for the kit. Sort of like the Nimbus. It's not this one. This one is from set A, which we also got. So lucky for me, both of these sets were there that day. So this is set A, so this can be turned into a weapon or have this effect where the Wukong can ride on. And here we can see more of the lineup and some of the other characters. Here's something new. This is the option part set, Gunpla 19, and this is the fin funnel for the entry grade new Gundam. This is something that's actually been anticipated for a while, as when the entry grade new Gundam got released, it did not include the fin funnel, which was a little bit odd, but they have made up for it now. And now you can have the fin funnel on it. Also, what's really cool about this option part set is that not only are you getting the fin funnel, but you get the bazooka, the beam saber, this other beam saber that has this effect on it, the joint parts. But also, because you're getting all that, this is not one of those cheap option part sets. The price for this one is actually around 1,500 yen or so, which is almost the same price as a regular HG kit. So that might be a turnoff for some people. Because at that point, if you're spending that much money on the option part sets and the entry grade, then you might as well just get the HG grade version. Here are some side images. It does look really cool equipped to it though. Also, I really like that beam saber with the effects on it. Now, here's something that makes this option part set really stand out. And that is, if you have 2 copies of this, you can recreate the double fin funnel look. Also with the joints, you can actually equip this to other kits. And we can see that right here, the fin funnels on the Strike Gundam, and on the RX-78 too. Now here is something really special. Something that I thought I was not going to see ever again. And this is the collaboration SD kit between Sanrio and Bandai. Of course, this is the Gundam Hello Kitty. Now this kit came out a couple years ago, I believe. So the reason I thought I was not going to be able to see this is because usually a lot of the collaboration kits are a one-time thing. And then because of license issues and things like that, they don't get re-released after that. So I was very surprised when I saw this again, and obviously I had to pick it up, even though I already do own one of these. Looking at side images here, It comes with two cute runners, one in the shape of the Hello Kitty, and the other one with the red parts, the shape of the bow. Since this is an entry grade kit, it is really easy to put together. This kit is a 2-in-1 because you could just build the Hello Kitty or the RX-78 too. But of course, if you're buying this, it is because you want the Hello Kitty RX-78 too. Definitely worth the pickup, and I'm going to be on the lookout for the Sakura versions. Now onto the high grades, and here we have the newest HG kit, and this is the G-Quox X Endymion Unit Awakened. We recently reviewed this kit here in the channel, so if you want to take a look at that full build and review, you can check that out right here. Although this kit is very identical to the normal G-Quox kit, in some ways it is actually better. Not only are you getting the final version, but you get the effects. So what makes this different than the normal G-Quox kit? Obviously, that's going to be the effects, the awakened head. Besides that, everything is the same. So in a way, this is actually even better. Because a lot of the parts that you get here are the same as the normal G-Quox, you are going to get the same runners. And those same runners actually contain all the pieces to make the normal open state head. So as I mentioned in my review, with this kit, you actually get 3 heads instead of 2. And not only that, but you get all the other individual pieces for you to make this into a normal mode. So it is like getting 2-in-1. Let's quickly take a look at the side images. This kit does come with a lot of gimmicks. Here we have the HG Rosen Sulu. I really like the Sulu kits. The Gara Sulu, Gara Doga, and I noticed this one the other day. This is a much thicker kit than your usual HG, so it is a pretty beefy kit. Something that's really funny that I just noticed is that this Gundam kit has high heels, and the booster packs are shaped like roses. You could make these really cool pulses with the included clear bases. Here showing off more of those gimmicks. I had actually seen this kit for a while, but never really picked it up. And then when I finally decided to, I got a surprise. This came in. And at first I thought it was actually the same one, but this is the Rosen Sulu episode 7 version, which is almost the same. So let's go ahead and compare them side by side. Obviously we have different artworks. The back images appear to be super identical. The only difference I see right here is actually this part. On the other side where we have the action pulses, we can see them side by side. So it seems like the episode 7 version actually contains more of these roses. Either way, 2 very cool pickups. I could have gone with either one, but I am glad I was able to get both of them. Here we have the Destiny Gundam. This kit was re-released just a couple days ago, so of course I had to get it since I don't have the high grade version of it. Really super cool artwork. I really love the effects on the wings. Looking at the side images, here we can see that we do get the effects on the HG kit. Something that you don't get on the real grade. Here we have the gimmicks. I also really like the sword. Next up, another Seed Gundam Destiny kit. And here we have the Infinite Justice Gundam. Initially, I was getting this one confused with the Immortal Justice Gundam. But no, both of these are different. Let's take a closer look at the side images. Really cool effects. The double beam saber looks really cool. As does the backpack. Awesome action pulse right here. Very nice kit, and glad we got this one as well. Moving on, let's go to the Iron-Blooded Orphan kits, and let's get started with the Chimaris Bidar, another one that got re-released not too long ago. Now this kit looks really cool with this big weapon right here, and of course with the katana as well. Again, I haven't seen Iron-Blooded Orphans yet, so I can't say too much on the backstory, just that it looks really cool. We have our rear and front view here, a cool action pose with these shields and this what appears to be like a lance. Cool action poses with the sword. On the other side, we have it in this battle scene with the Gundam Bale. And of course, if you're able to get your hands on the Iron-Blooded Orphans optional parts kits, then you can add more variety to your kits, like right here with the Buster Sword. Next up is the Gundam Bale, which we just saw doing battle with the Chimaris Bidar. And that's right here in the background. Really cool Gundam, and we have this one double wielding 2 golden swords. Let's look at its side images. We have the rear and front view. Nice action pose. Super cool action pose. This image almost looks like an angel with the golden swords and the wings. On the other side, just like how we saw on the Chimaris Bidar, here we have it equipped with the large railgun, which you can get from the optional part sets. Here we have our last Iron-Blooded Orphans HG kit, and this one is a much bigger one. This is the Mobile Armor Hashmal, and that's basically this guy right here. And here we see this battle between the Hashmal and the Barbados. It comes with its own large base. What's cool about it is that it even comes with a beam effect. Here we can see a little bit more of that level of detail. And here is a close-up of one of the satellite machines. Also, here's something that I didn't know. This model comes with a new type sword for the Gundam Barbados Lupus. Cool action shot right here. And here we have another advertisement for the option part set. Really cool kit, and one that actually would make a really good diorama piece. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at G Gundam. And this is our first G Gundam kit for the month of January. And it is a really cool one. This is the Nobel Gundam. So in G Gundam, this is the Neo Sweden mobile suit. And it's basically a schoolgirl RX-78-2. We have the schoolgirl uniform right here. And we can see right here that instead of a beam saber, she has this beam whip. And here on the side, we have this really nice pose. Nice action scene right here. And on the side, we get a closer look at those weapons. We have the hand parts. It comes with one making a peace sign, which is a very typical pose when you're taking a picture here in Japan. Very cool and unique kit. Actually, a lot of the G Gundam kits are like that, but this one definitely stands out. And something else that actually stands out is this other version of the Nobel Gundam. And this one is the Berserker mode. So this is when the Nobel Gundam gets serious. Some of the differences that we can tell between both of these versions is going to be obviously the hair on the Berserker mode. It is more loose. The colors are also different. We have this shades of pink. We can see that a little bit better here on the side images. And this one actually does have two beam sabers. On the other side, we can see a little bit more of that detail. It comes with its own action base. And here we can see a little bit of the gimmick. The hair moves a little bit. You still get your hand parts. I actually didn't even know there was a Berserker mode. So I am glad to have my hands on this. Here's another kit that I didn't thought I was going to see. And this is the RX-78-2 Gundam, the Beyond Global version. And from what I've heard is that this kit has really good articulation. And this is the one that commemorates the 40th anniversary. Very cool classic image right here on the front cover. And here we have a little summary highlighting that articulation. Cool front and back views. Another example of the possible poses. I think some of these poses can't be recreated on a normal HG kit. Our classic pose. Some other cool images on the other side. I am a big fan of the RX-78-2, so this is definitely a good addition to our collection. Next up is something really special. And this is a Saku 2 plus big gun set from Gundam Thunderbolt. Now I think I mentioned this before on past videos, but I really like the designs from Gundam Thunderbolt. Here we have this really cool illustration of the Saku 2 and the big gun set. This is one of my back orders that was there for months ago, and recently I have started seeing more Gundam Thunderbolt kits out there. Here we have this really cool side image, and just for scale purposes, we can see how big that gun is. Another cool side image right here. This is going to be an amazing build, and it's going to look really good next to the Thunderbolt and the Psycho Gundam. What's going to make that even better is not only having one of these, but having two, which I don't have, but I will. Here we have another big HG Gundam, and this is the RX-105 XI Gundam, or as I like to call it, the She Gundam. And this is from Gundam Hathaway. This is the one that goes along well with the Penelope. Really cool artwork. Here we have the front and rear view images. Here is the flight form with some of the gimmicks, various action poses. As for weapons, we can see you get a beam rifle, beam saber, and the funnel missiles. I got the Penelope a couple months ago, so it was really nice seeing this kit available again. Currently, there is a new Hathaway movie out here in Japan that celebrates the Hathaway anniversary. So my take is that we're going to be seeing a lot more Hathaway kits this year. Maybe even some new ones. We are getting close on finishing all of the high grade kits. The last two are going to be premium Bandai, and this is the first one, for a couple of the Gundams from the Witch of Mercury. Here we can see the contents that we are getting. These are weapons for the Garibaldi, the Farak, and Michaelis. For the Garibaldi, we have these two shields, these beam sabers, and these effect parts. For the Farak, we have these weapons right here. For the Michaelis, we have the lance, along with the wires here. And this kit comes with two bases. Definitely not a bad pickup if you're looking to enhance your Gundam kits from Witch of Mercury. Also, you can use this on other kits, so the possibilities are endless. Our last high grade and premium Bandai kit is this one right here. This is the G-Self Atmospheric backpack and space backpack. Reconquista in the G movie version. Very long name. Now there is a normal G Self kit, but as the name says, this is the movie version one, which is slightly different. And for comparison, this is the normal G Gundam Self Perfect Pack, and here we have the premium Bandai version. And here we can see some of those differences is going to be this shield right here. Also, some of the armor is a little bit different. And here is an image of all the content inside this box. It comes with its own base. We have this backpack here, another one here, beam rifles, the shields, beam sabers, couple of hands. This, I don't know what this is. And of course, the mobile suit itself. Another very cool kit, and a very unique take on the RX-78 too. And this was before the G-Quads version came along. Now, with the high grades out of the way, let's move on to the real grades. And this month, we have another premium Bandai kit, and this is the Strike Roach plus the IWSP. Another really cool variation of the L-Strike. And of course, because this is a premium Bandai kit, there's really not much else to show. There's nothing on the sides, except what's on the front cover. So I'll post some other images here. Very, very cool kit, and another good addition to our RG library. For our last real grade kit, we have this Tallgeese 2 from Premium Bandai. We have the Master Grade Tallgeese 2 from Premium Bandai. So I was surprised that there was even an RG version of it as well. Cool close-up right here. As the Roach Strike, there's not really much else to show on the sides. But here are some images. With this one, we now have all three real grade Tallgeese. 1, 2, and 3. Still, if I had to pick one that I like the most, it would still be the regular Tallgeese, since that one does more closely resemble a Roman Centurion. On to our master grades. Let's go ahead and get things started with a classic, and this is the 2001 Burning Gundam Master Grade Kit, or also known as the God Gundam. Here we have the front and rear views. Here we can see the inner frame. It does look a bit simplistic by today's standards. Other close-ups of the kit, the core lander and how it attaches to the back. And here is Domon Kashu, the 1/100 figure that's included inside this kit. And that is something that I do miss from the older kits, that they would come with the figure. That's one of the things that I wish they would bring back. On the other side, we have some of these action fighting poses. A classic and a very good kit for any collector to have, especially if you're a fan of G Gundam. Now that I'm looking at it, I am wondering if we'll ever get a Verka version of this. On to our next kit, and this one ties with the God Gundam. This is the Master Gundam, and this one is from 2002, so a year after the God Gundam got released. Cool art cover in this fighting pose. Close up of the front and rear view. Here we have the action frame as well. And down here we have a Gundam fight with the G Gundam. Some of the cool gimmicks. Of course, our figure of Master Asia. On the other side, we have our action poses. Two very cool kits to get if you don't already have them. I have both of these Master kits already, but I am missing some of the original parts, along with the figures. Next up is the Victory Gundam Verka from 2009, and I was actually surprised to see this version re-released. I am a big fan of the Verka versions, and this one is no exception. This one actually looks really good. Here is our front and rear views. It does look quite simplistic. However, on the other side, we can see that it is more than just that. It does transform. A lot of really cool versions, so there is variety in this kit. We are getting a little bit closer and closer to getting all of the Verka kits. Someday, I'm sure I'll have all of them. Here's another really cool Gundam kit, and this is from Gundam Seida. This is the Hakushiki version 2. And this is the one that Sharp pilots in Gundam Seida. Really cool artwork here with the Hakushiki here in front. Here we have the front and rear view. 3 types of eye colors. A little bit of the leg unit. Cool action pose with the rifle. And it comes with a little figure that you could place in the cockpit. The weapons, some joint parts, and of course the markings. On the other side, we have this cool action pose. The only thing that I'm not sure about the Hakushiki is the gold color. Sometimes I prefer it to be a more shiny gold than to a more natural gold. Next up is the Master Grade Delta Plus, another kit that was stuck on my backlog for months and months. So obviously we are happy that we finally have it. And here we can see the Delta Plus in battle, slicing off the arm of a Gero Sulu. Here's the front and rear view of the Wave Rider. Here's a really cool transformation sequence. On this side we have the front and rear view. Comes with 2 figures. Cool shot of the weapons. Here we can see a little bit of the inner frame. Very cool transformable kit. And not a lot of people are into that because of how fragile some parts are, and some kits are prone to break easily. Here's our last master grade for January, and this is a very, very special one. This is from Premium Bandai. This is the Gundam Mark V. And initially, this kit doesn't really look all that special or good. Then I saw it on display, and I saw its potential. So, of course, I had to go and get it. At first glance, it actually almost sort of looks like a Transformer. It is a very thick box, and here we have the front and rear views. Cool action pose right here. Some of the markings that it comes with. Here we can see more of the missile pods. Cool action pose. Here are the weapons that it comes with. And down here we can see the beam cannons opened up. Again, even on these images, it looks okay. But I'll show you the customized version that was on display that made me change my mind. After that, like I said before, then I definitely had to go and get this. Now that we're done with the master grades, let's move on to the perfect grades. And here we are. And this is the expansion unit. Armed Armor VN-VS. And this is for the Unicorn Gundam Banshee. And taking a closer look, we can see some images of that. Not necessarily something that you'll need. But if you do have a chance to get your hands on this, then why not? Moving on to another 1/160th scale, we have this right here. The classic no-grade 1/60th scale RX-78-2. This is a very outdated and simple kit. However, it still overflows with charm. Last year, I reviewed and painted the classic no-grade 144 RX-78 and Sharsaku. A couple months after that, we got our hands on the 1/100th scale, and now we have the 1/60th scale, or as it says right here, the big scale. Here we can see some of the side images with various weapons. And what's cool about the 1/160th scale is that it comes with a little Amuro figure. Here are the gimmicks: 2 beam sabers, 1 beam rifle, the hammer, shield, the bazooka, and a missile. Over here we can see that it comes with the core fighter. Now that is really cool, and I'm sure that at the time this was big news. And on the other side, we can see some of the other mobile suits that also come in the 1/160th scale. We have the Goof, Rigdom, Seagok, mass-produced Saku, and Sharsaku. As much as I appreciate the new kits, I also really like the classics, especially something like this. And that concludes all of the Gundam kits for January. So now let's go ahead and look at those non-Gundam kits that we got. And our first non-Gundam kit is this one. This is Arca Nadea. Now, I have no idea who this is or where this is from. All I know is that this just caught my attention and I just picked it up. And the only reason I even picked this one up is because this character reminds me of Lilith from Darkstalkers. This is from Kotobukiya, and here we can see some side images. This is the Willis mode. Down here we have some more images, front, side, and this one without the umbrella. Cool image right here. And this kit comes with various face parts and with its own stand as well. And again, even though I know nothing about this kit, I think it is still nice to have some variety. I think there is a black version of this as well. Speaking of variety, here's also something new, and this is something that I might start getting into, and this is the 30 Minutes Fantasy. This is the kit that caught my eye, and the one that made me take a closer look at the 30-Minute Fantasy series. This is the Liber Swordsman. It comes with this round shield and its sword, and this really does look a lot like a Roman soldier. Let's take a look at the side images. Here we can see the contents. So it appears that you get the base body and then you add all the contents to it, and that becomes the Liber Swordsman. There is some lore that goes along with this series. Here we see the element core. And what's really cool about the 30-Minute Fantasy line is that you can do a job change. So here you can upgrade to the Liber Gladiator. On this side we have the front and rear views. We get a little description as well. I think this is a series that I would enjoy, as I do like fantasy, history, and mythology. Of course, we couldn't just get the Liber Swordsman without getting the Liber Gladiator. And this is the kit that contains the job change contents. Here we can see those. And here on this side we can see that you have class 1, that being the Liber Swordsman. You level up, and then you go to class 3, Liber Gladiator. I think it's kind of weird that you go from class 1 to class 3. Where's class 2? Nevertheless, looks really cool. Here's another image of the contents. A lot of new body armor. You get the cape, parts for the shield, the sword, and you get a spear as well. And here is the image with all that stuff equipped. Couple action poses right here. And here's another cool thing that I like about that 30-Minute Fantasy series is that you can mix and match some of the parts with some of the other kits. Front and rear view of the Liber Gladiator. And these two are new kits as well that just got released in January. But I think overall the 30-minute fantasy series is actually not that old. It's only been around for a couple years now, but I don't think it's been that long. I went and I also got the Dragonia Knight. This is more like a lizard species. It's got this really cool red armor, this dragon type helmet, it's got wings, this large sword here. Taking a look at the side images, we see that it does have a different body type. Here are all the pieces equipped and some action poses. And this one also has a job change, and that is the Dragonia Lord. Here's the front and rear view, our summary. Also, something really interesting about these kits is their scale. They're actually bigger than what I thought they would be. Of course, here we have the job change kit. This is the Dragonia Lord. We can see the contents right here. That really cool helmet, wing expansions, new armor pieces, this cleaver weapon. Here are the contents, very well organized. The wings are movable. Nice action pose. And here we can see that this includes 3 different head parts. I like the first one with the extra horns. The parts for the sword. That looks awesome. And of course right here it tells you how you can mix and match some of the parts on other kits. Another really cool kit, and this one's definitely gonna look really cool battling the Liber Gladiator. Also joining the fight is the Liber Knight, and I think this is the first kit in the 30-minute fantasy series. And here is your classic knight look with your heavy shield and your sword, all this cool body armor. We have the side contents right here, a lot of cool pieces. The base model, or I guess right here they call it the silhouette. And once you're ready for your job change, then you become a Liber Knight. And the job changes for the Liber Knight are either Liber Paladin or Liber Holy Knight. Both look really cool actually, but I think the Liber Holy Knight is the one I would go with. That one just looks more divine and cooler. On the other side, we have our front and rear views, our summary, and here are both of the class up armors. Here's the Liber Holy Knight and the Liber Paladin. So not all class up armor comes in its own box, and I suppose because these are simpler, there's not that many pieces for the class up, so it comes in a bag. Same thing for the Liber Paladin. Also, it makes this one's much cheaper. The class up armors that come in bags are usually like around 500 to 800 yen. So it's not too bad. Here is the back of the Liber Paladin, and that's the one that's in focus. We can still see both pads. Now the cool thing about this is that you only need one Liber Knight, since you can swap out the class up armor parts. Now I've been saving the biggest for last, and that is this big box. This is also something new. This is from MS General, and this kit is part of their 7 Deadly Sins line. And the one that we have right here is Slot. On this side we can see the illustration of the bear. So this is a mechanized bear with 2 giant cannons on his back. On the other side we have the Rhino. Neither side shows the other character that's included in this, and that is this figure right here. This box actually contains 3 kits. That's why it's so big. On this box you have the bear, the Rhino, and the girl. Also, what's really cool about this kit is that it actually comes with LEDs. And here it is, the highlight of the month, and it made it just in time for this month's Gundam haul. The Perfect Grade Unleashed New Gundam. It feels like forever when this kit was announced, and we were all actually pretty surprised that it was the new Gundam. I myself was thinking that the next Perfect Grade was going to be a Sharsaku, since usually that is the trend, and it would have followed the RX-78 too. But seeing this, I am not disappointed at all. Now, for the next Perfect Grade, which would be around the next 5 years or so, what I would really love to see would be a Perfect Grade Unleashed Sasabi. That kit is already a masterpiece, so I can only imagine how much cooler that would be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sides. Now this is a massive box. Let's see if we can fit this in. Here is one side. Here we can see that half of it has the exposed inner frame and the other one has the armor body parts on. And here's the back of the box with a lot of cool stuff going on. Here's our front and rear images. A closer look at the detail on those fin funnels. And here it is with a couple of stands and on its base. All of that amazing detail on the inner frame. Classic pose. And this is something I didn't know. It comes with an Amuro Ray and Chang Aji figure, highlighting all of that realism. Here we can see the metal and etching parts. And here's the cockpit. it is also something that was highlighted. The LED unit, of course, sold separately, which we also got. And honestly, this box is smaller than what I thought it would be. I think the unicorn one is actually a little bit bigger than this. The box is a bit dark, so hopefully you can see. It's got the head camera, twin camera eyes, the chest sensor, chest intake, the one on the back of the head, and of course the cockpit. Now we can go on and on and on and talk about this kid, and we will. I plan to do an unboxing of this, but that deserves its own video. Hopefully the one I got is the one that actually had the waist fixed, because after we saw the preview, that has been a concern. As for the light unit, is this something that you do need? Honestly, I don't think so. And especially not for that price, I'll be honest. It'll just be a matter of time when third parties come out with their own LED unit that honestly will be better and much cheaper. However, for the new Gundam itself, I do think this is worth it. I know, it is a bit expensive, but if you're able to get your hands on one, I'll say go for it. Wow, that was intense. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Definitely a bunch of cool new kits were added to our never-ending backlog. Makes it harder and harder to pick our next build. So do let me know which ones you want to see. Got some more cool stuff planned ahead, so look forward to seeing you there. If you enjoy this, go ahead and subscribe to find out what's coming up next. But until then, take care, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.